Hi everybody, I hope you're healthy, and to my students, I miss you much. In light of recent events, I am going to be temporarily changing the purpose and the content of my YouTube channel in order to reach out to my students and ensure that they are still getting time to practice on their specific goals. So for today, we are going to be working on this goal. In all, we will be breaking each lesson into 3 parts, just like we do in the classroom. We are going to start with a warm-up that is going to be mental math. We are going to follow that with a word problem, and then we will conclude with some equation practice. In all, this should take approximately 30 minutes if you are pausing the video at the suggested times in order to give yourself some think time and some time to work out these math problems. Our warm-up for this lesson is going to be some mental math. You will not need a pencil or an eraser or paper for this part of the lesson. I just really want you to use your brain, look at the numbers, and come up with some answers. So this is our warm-up number for today. We're gonna pause right here so that you can take a moment to mentally think of these answers and then write them down. One trick that we know about multiplying numbers by multiples of 10 is that when we multiply by multiples of 10, it increases the value of the number. So if we're multiplying by 10, then we're adding a 0 to the end of our number, and what was once a hundreds place number now becomes a thousands place number. So in the example, 196 times 10, the answer would be 1,960. We can apply this to multiplying by 100 and 1,000. 100 has 2 zeros, so if I'm multiplying 196 times 100, I would simply add 2 zeros to the end of the 196, and my new answer is 19,600. And when I'm multiplying 196 by 1,000, which has 3 zeros, I add 3 zeros to the end of my 196, and my answer is 196,000. Now it's time for us to work on our word problem. My students know that I always like for us to give it 3 reads. The first read is just so that we can simply understand what is happening in the problem. No numbers are necessary, just what's happening. The second read is for us to focus on the math. So pull out any numbers that are important to solving this problem, pull out any clue words that will be important to solving this problem. And then our third read is going to be so that we can focus on creating a plan. Let's get started. Here's our word problem. Let's start with our first read. Keisha earns 79 points for each video game that she wins. She wins 24 games. How many points does she earn altogether? The first read, we just want to know what's happening in this problem. And it's easy. There's a girl named Keisha. She's playing some video games. Every time she wins, she gets some points. And we want to know how much does she have altogether. Second read, read with me. Keisha earns 79 points for each video game that she wins. She wins 24 games. How many points does she earn altogether? This time while we're reading, we want to take a look and find the important math terms or numbers that will help us solve the problem. So take a moment to think about what's going to be important to help you solve the problem. Did you say 79 and 24? If you did, great. You should have also noticed the word each. In this example, the word each tells me that every time she wins, she's going to get the same amount of points. So that's a clue to help me know what kind of math to do. Time for our third read. Read with me. Keisha earns 79 points each video game that she wins. She wins 24 games. How many points does she earn altogether? Let's think back on that word each. It is a clue that each time she wins, she'll get the same amount of points. So for one game, she'll get 24. For one game, she'll get 79. Another game, she'll get 79, and so on and so on. If we're adding the same number over and over, that should be a very big clue for what kind of math you should do. What do you think it is? I'm hoping you said multiplication. Okay, so for our plan, we're going to do multiplication. Now that you guys have a plan, pause the video here so that you can work out your problem. Now let's end by working on a few equations in order to practice our math skills. We will do the first one together, and today I'm going to be focusing on using the algorithm. Okay, we'll do this first one together. For my students who have an accommodation of a multiplication chart, you can find one online. But as I always tell you, whether you have that chart or not, you can do this math. It might take you longer, but you can still do it. So let's go through this first one together. We always want to start in our ones place. 5 times 4 is 20. Can we put down the whole 20? No, only the ones place number goes down. So 0 goes down and 2 regroups to the tens place. Now the 5 is going to have to multiply by every number on the top. So 5 times 5 is 25, plus 2 more at the top is 27. The whole 27 cannot go down. We only put the ones place number, the 7, and we regroup the 2 to the hundreds place. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 2 more is 17. This time, I can put the whole 17 because there's no number to regroup the tens place on top of. So now I'm going to put the entire 17. Now I'm done with the 5. 4's turn. 4 times 4 is 16. I cannot put the entire 16, and it's important to note that my answer starts under the 4. My answer for my 5 timetables started under the 5. My answer for the 4 timetables will start under the 4. So 4 times 4 is 16. I only put the ones place number down, so that's 6. Right under the 4, the 6 goes down. The 1 regroups on top of the next number that the 4 needs to multiply. The next number the 4 is multiplying is the 5. So 4 times 5 is 20, plus the 1 that we carried is 21. Cannot put my whole 21 down. Only the ones place number goes down. So I'm going to put down the 1. I'm going to regroup the 2 on top of the next number that the 4 will multiply. 4 times 3 is 12, plus the 2 that we regrouped is 14. This time there's no neighbor to regroup on top of, so I'm going to put the whole 14. There we go. Now that I have my answers to my multiplication, I need to add these two together in order to come up with the answer for the whole problem. So no one is in the zero's way. He's going to drop straight down. 7 plus 6 is 13. I cannot put the entire 13. I'm going to put the ones place number. That's the 3, and I'll regroup the tens place number from the 13. 7 plus 1 is 8, plus 1 is 9. 4 plus 1 is 5. And this one comes down. Now in my class, in order to remember where we put our commas, we say 1, 2, 3, put a comma behind me. Our answer to 354 times 45 is 15,930. We're going to move on. I'm going to show you about 5 more equations that I would like you to work out using that same algorithm strategy on your own. Okay, these are the 5 problems that I would like for you guys to work on now. This will be a great time to pause the video so that you can work on these problems with your own pencil and paper, and we'll come back, compare our answers to see how you did. Okay, so here is what we should have come up with. The answer to a multiplication problem is called a product. So the product of 48 times 37 is 1,776. Number 2, the product of 29 times 63 is 1,827. Number 3, the product of 172 times 29 is 4,988. Number 4, the product of 309 times 45 is 13,905. And for number 5, our bonus, the product of 723 times 64 is 46,272. How'd you do? Okay, so if you're one of my students, then I have assigned some additional problems to you in our Google Classroom. If you're not already logged in there, please go there so that you can answer the additional equations that I have for you for today. If you're not one of my students, then you can make up your own problems just like these so that you can keep learning. Don't forget to like this video so that I know you guys were here, and it gives me some indication that I should make some more videos for you. I'll see you next time. Remember, never stop learning.